welcome to BioLearning with Aparna. In our last session, we have discussed the introduction of tissues and the different types and their functions of plant tissue. Now we will start with animal tissue. So now we will discuss animal tissues. There are four major types of animal tissues. That is epithelial tissue, second one is the connective tissue, third one is the muscular tissue, and last, that is nervous tissue. Now we have to discuss each of these type of animal tissue in detail along with its different types. Now we will begin with the epithelial tissue. Now this epithelial tissue is a covering or the protective layer, or it forms a covering or protective layer in the animal body. Now here it covers most of the body parts or the cavities. So it is covering most of the body parts as well as the cavities in the body. Now as it is covering each of the body parts and the cavities, it forms a separating membrane, or it separates different body systems. It separates different body systems. Now here the cells are tightly packed. The cells of epithelial tissue are tightly packed and they form a continuous layer. It forms a continuous layer. Now while forming this layer, they are having very less amount of substance that connects the cells, as well as there is almost no intercellular space. There is almost no intercellular space. So the characteristic feature of epithelial tissue is that it is forming a covering layer and it forms a protective layer. So the main function of epithelial tissue is that it protects the different body systems as well as the different parts. It covers the almost all organs as well as the cavities in the animal body. Then it is consisting of tightly packed continuous layer, and these are having very less amount of substance that is present between the cells, and there is no intercellular space. The epithelial tissue is present in the, that is skin, then lining of blood vessels, then the lung and alveoli, kidney tubules, etc. So the skin, lining of blood vessels, then lung, alveoli, kidney tubules, mouth, all these linings are made up of epithelial tissue. Now what is the exact function of this epithelial tissue? Now whatever the thing, whatever the different substance, either it is coming within the body or it is going outside the body. Now this substance has to cross at least one layer of epithelium. So whatever the substance that is coming within the animal body or within the organ or leaving from the organ or from the body, that has to cross at least one layer of the epithelial tissue. Why? Because it is covering the covering layer or it is a protective layer. So the permeability of this epithelial tissue or the cells of epithelial tissue, it regulates the transfer of substances within the body. So whatever the substances that are coming or going out of the body are regulated, and this regulation is because of permeability of cells of epithelial tissue. Now further, on the basis of the location as well as the shape of the cell, there are different types of epithelial tissue. First type of epithelial tissue is the simple squamous epithelial tissue. Now in this case, the cells of this simple squamous epithelium are extremely flat and thin. The cells are extremely thin and flat, and these are compactly placed. These are compactly placed. Now because of this arrangement, they form a delicate lining. Now where these tissues or the cells are present? These are present in the lining of blood vessels, then the lung alveoli, then lining of esophagus, etc., as well as the lining of mouth. So specifically, the lining of blood vessels, lung alveoli, mouth and esophagus is having the simple squamous epithelial cells or the tissue. Now what is its functions? It is having the protective role, that it protects these organs from the mechanical injury, as well as it prevents the entry of germs. So it protects against the mechanical injury, as well as it prevents entry of germs. So through these passages or through this mouth and other organs, there may be the entry of germs. So the entry of germs is prevented by this simple squamous epithelial tissue. The second type of epithelial tissue is the columnar epithelial tissue, or we can simply call it as columnar epithelium. Now here the characteristic feature of this tissue is that the cells are tall like a pillar. So like a column, so it is known as columnar epithelium. Now these tissue are present in the lining of intestine. Lining of intestine. So obviously the columnar epithelium is having function in the absorption and secretion. Now in some cases, the columnar epithelium is having the external hair-like appendages that are known as cilia. So such a kind of epithelial tissue is known as ciliated columnar epithelium. So in a very simple word, we can say that the columnar epithelium which is having the hair-like appendages or the projections that are called as cilia on its outer surface. Now such a type of cells, again as these are columnar epithelial, so here also the cells are tall, pillar-like, but these can be differentiated because of presence of cilia. These are present in the respiratory tract. So the lining of respiratory tract is protected, or it is having the ciliated columnar epithelium. Now here these cilia can move in the direction. So the rhythmic movement of this cilia is responsible to move the substances in one direction. So substances are moved because of rhythmic movement of cilia. So there are another two types, that is columnar epithelium and the ciliated columnar epithelium. The next type of epithelial tissue is the cuboidal tissue or cuboidal epithelium. Now, as the name suggests, the cells are cube shaped. So the characteristic feature of cuboidal tissue is that the cells are cube shaped or cuboidal. Now, this cuboidal epithelium is present in the lining of kidney tubules as well as these are present in the lining of ducts of salivary glands. So here the function of cuboidal epithelium is in the secretion, absorption as well as in the excretion. Now, in certain cases, the epithelial tissue, it acquires a specialization as the glands. So, they form the gland cells. Now, these gland cells, they secrete the substance on the surface of epithelial tissue, surface of epithelium. So, in some cases, the epithelial tissue forms or it folds inward and forms a multicellular gland that is known as glandular epithelium. So what is glandular epithelium? It is just the inward folding of epithelium tissue to form a multicellular gland. Now where this glandular epithelium is present? It is present in the sweat glands as well as tear glands. So obviously the function is secretion. The function of the glandular epithelium is secretion. The last type of epithelial tissue is the stratified squamous epithelium. So what is it? It is in the form of layer. So whenever the cells or tissues are present in the form of layer, it is known as stratified tissue. So here the squamous epithelial tissue layers are present. Now it is present in the skin. So the layers are present to protect the skin from wear and tear. Now the main function is that the stratified squamous epithelium, it functions in protection against the mechanical injury. Protection against mechanical injury. So whatever the damage that the skin may have, it is prevented by the layers of the squamous epithelium, that is stratified squamous epithelium. Now actually in the skin, the keratin is present, so it is known as stratified keratinized squamous epithelium. So the stratified keratinized squamous epithelium, it is present in the skin. Now in some cases, the layers of the cuboidal tissue are present that are known as stratified cuboidal epithelium. Now this stratified cuboidal epithelium is having the layers of cuboidal epithelium tissue. Now it is present in the inner lining of larger ducts of two different glands, that is pancreatic glands and the salivary glands. So these glands are having the larger ducts and the inner lining of that ducts is made up of layers of cuboidal epithelium, that is known as stratified cuboidal epithelium. the second major type of animal tissue is the connective tissue. Now what are these connective tissue? So the tissue that supports, protects and gives structure to the other tissue, It is called as connective tissue. So the connective tissue is the tissue that supports, protects and gives structure to other tissue. Now in our body, different connective tissues are present. Now the cells of this connective tissue are loosely placed and these are embedded in the intracellular matrix. So unlike other tissues like the epithelial tissue, here the cells of connective tissue are loosely placed and these are embedded in the intracellular matrix. Now this matrix may have the different kind of nature. The matrix may be either jelly-like or it may be fluid, it may be liquid or it may be a dense liquid or it may be rigid. Now what is actual role? Now the type or the nature of this matrix depends on the different types of connective tissue that perform different function. So on the basis of function that is performed by a specific connective tissue, the nature of this matrix differs. Now in our body or in the human being, there are different kinds of the connective tissue. Now these are blood, bone, ligament, cartilage, tendon, as well as the adipose tissue where the fat cells are present and areolar tissue. So the different types or the different connective tissues that are present in our body are blood, bone, ligament, cartilage, tendon, adipose tissue and areolar tissue. So these all are the connective tissues. Now we will discuss various connective tissues in our body. Now the first one is the blood. Now this connective tissue has a fluid matrix. Now this fluid matrix is known as plasma. Now in this fluid matrix, the blood cells, that is RBCs, that is red blood corpuscles, WBCs and the platelets are embedded or these are suspended. So these cells are suspended in the fluid matrix, that is plasma. Now this plasma, it consists of proteins, salts and hormones. Now this blood, it flows. So while flowing, it transports different substances such as the gases, then the digested food, similarly the hormones, as well as the excretory products. So all these are transported by this connective tissue, blood. Another example of connective tissue is the bone. Now this bone, it gives the support to the body as it forms a framework. So overall, the bone forms a framework and that supports other organs of the body. Similarly, the bone also anchors the muscles. So bone, it forms a framework and it gives support to the body. It anchors the muscles and it protects or gives support to other important organs in the body. Now bone, it consists of the cells. So the bone cells that are embedded in the matrix. Now this matrix is a hard matrix. It is made up of calcium and phosphorus compounds. Calcium and phosphorus substances. So the bone is a non-flexible, strong, hard tissue. So overall, bone is another type of connective tissue. It is non-flexible, hard, strong tissue. It gives main function of the bone is that it forms the framework, it anchors the muscles and gives support to other important organs. Now then, as we know that all the connective tissue cells are embedded in the matrix, here the matrix is hard and it is made up of calcium and phosphorus substances. Next connective tissue is the ligament. Now this type of connective tissue, it joins two bones with each other. So the connective tissue which joins two bones with each other is known as ligament. The ligament is very elastic tissue. It is very elastic tissue. That means because of its elasticity, it can connect the two bones and it is having with the flexibility. It is having remarkable flexibility. It consists of very less amount of matrix and it is having considerable less strength. So it is having considerably less strength, it is having very less matrix, it is having flexibility and it is very elastic tissue. But the identifying feature is that the ligament is the connective tissue which joins two bones with each other. Now till another type of the connective tissue is there which is connecting bone with the muscle. Which connects bone with the muscle. That is known as tendon. So another type of connecting tissue which connects or which joins muscles with the bone. It is known as tendon. Now this tendon is having very less elasticity. It is a fibrous tissue. It is a fibrous tissue and it is having limited flexibility. So ligament is having higher flexibility but it is elastic tissue. Tendon is fibrous tissue, so it is having less flexibility or limited flexibility. The next connective tissue is the cartilage. Now in this tissue, the cells are widely spaced or placed. Then the tissue, that is the cells that are embedded in the matrix, is solid matrix and it is composed of proteins and sugars. The solid matrix is composed of proteins and sugars. This cartilage tissue, it makes the bones or the bone surfaces smooth at the joints. So wherever there are joints of two bones, at this joint the cartilage is present so that the bone surfaces are made smooth at the joints. Now this cartilage is present in the ear, nose, trachea as well as larynx. Now you can observe that the cartilage tissue at the ear can be folded, but we cannot bend the bones of our arms. So there is the difference between the two different type of connective tissue. The last two types of connective tissue are areolar connective tissue and adipose tissue. present between the skin and the muscle. It is present between the skin and muscle, as well as it is present around blood vessels, as well as nerves, and inside the organs. Now this areolar connective tissue, it fills the space inside the organs and it gives supports. It gives support to the organs. Thus, the areolar connective tissue is present between the skin and muscle, around blood vessels, nerves, inside the organ and inside the bone marrow also. It fills the space and it also gives support to the organs and it repairs the tissues. Now the last type of the connective tissue is the adipose tissue. It is the fat storage tissue. It is present below the skin and it is between the organs. It consists of the fat globules, and as it is consisting of fat globules, it acts as an insulator. Thus, we have taken a review of all different type of connective tissue. Now, these connective tissue, they differ in their function. Similarly, the matrix material in which the tissue cells are embedded, it also differs with its different functions. So, this much is enough for today's discussion. We have discussed today the two major types of animal tissue. The remaining two, that is the nervous tissue and the muscular tissue, we will discuss in our last session of tissue chapter. Like, share and subscribe my channel. Don't forget to press the bell button so that you will be notified with the upcoming videos. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.